So when Christians are dealing with this fear and find their security in God, it gives them freedom. It frees them up to actually start exploring the world around them. I mean, what happens when you're fearful? You actually withdraw. But if you are secure, you feel you can actually explore. You begin to explore. So people then are not so easily impressed or intimidated, perhaps, by what Muslims say, or what they believe, or what they write, or the expression they have. You say, well, I'm secure in Christ. I know I'm there. And then you can actually go in a kind of there becomes space for, I would say, grace, an attitude of love and grace, a willingness to take risks. Because grace is a risky business. I mean, it can be abused. You are friendly to someone who may not be friendly to you. And you say, well, how can I deal with it? Well, we have to say, well, God, I know I'm secure in God. That means no one can hurt me really. They can put me in prison, actually may kill me, as Jesus says, but nevertheless, despite all this, I'm safe. And that frees us up to have an attitude of love, grace, to find out what Muslims do, believe, not get hung up by what the media portrays them to be, but say, no, I really want to find out for myself. I want to actually make myself, in a sense, vulnerable, learn, ask questions, observe, without being under some sort of pressure from them. And I think they begin to see, I know they're beginning to see that we are then touched by the love of God. And they will see the love of God in us. And acceptance, and the fact that you are different, you have a different belief system, but nevertheless, because of God, I love you, I want to get to know you, I want to understand you, I want to serve you, I want to bless you, and all of this comes. The space for this is given when we have dealt with the foundation of fear and found this security in God. And Muslims are beginning to see this. And that's, I think, a powerful testimony that we as Christians can have. I mean, ultimately, we would like Muslims in Europe to come to faith in Christ. Obviously, that's what we want. But it has to come through us. We are the main means that God is using to bring Muslims to himself. Of course, he uses dreams and spectacular events, and he uses the Bible, and so on and on. But the main letter that Muslims will read about Christ in their lives is us, Christian leaders, Christian men, women, young, old, wherever we are in the world, they will read our lives. So they need to be able to come close, and we have to be able to come close to them. And people say, well, isn't this nice and friendly approach of grace, isn't that naive? Are you not putting yourself in a risky situation? Because you may come across people that want to kill you. Yes, it's possible. And I say, well, we don't have an alternative. Jesus came, the Bible tells us in John chapter 1, Jesus came to his own, and his own have not accepted him. In fact, his own have crucified him. So, is there a way that we can avoid this? I don't think so. The risk is there. But we don't have an alternative. Because this is what Christ preaches. This is what the gospel is all about. And the way we communicate the gospel has to be in agreement with the content of the gospel. And I think that's a message we have to really take on board. When we preach the gospel of grace, it should be in a way that is gracious. If we preach the gospel of the cross, it should be in a way that actually we are bearing the cross. And if we preach the gospel of love, it should be in a way that's in accordance with love. So the message of the gospel has to be proclaimed to our Muslim friends in a way that is in agreement with the content of the gospel. And that I find is a big challenge. Because living out, it's one thing to say, I believe in the gospel. It's something else to say, well, I live out the gospel in such a way that people, my neighbors, my Muslim friends, my Christian friends, everyone else for that matter, will see something of Christ. The Bible calls us the letters of Christ, the aroma of Christ, and that is an enormous challenge for all of us. We can preach it, but to live it, it's a challenge. And I find that one of my biggest challenges, and I encourage Christians to say, well, let's live out the Christian life in front of our Muslim friends, so that they will actually see the hope that is within us and want to be part of this.